The Battlestar Galactica new TV series, reboot, reimagine, whatever the hell we're going to get, is back on track. But where are we now? What do we know? And what has Sam Esmail, the showrunner, been saying? Welcome to SciTrek, your sci-fi TV and movie channel. So, about 6 months ago, I actually told you guys that it really did look like the TV series and the movie that were planned to bring Battlestar Galactica back were in trouble and probably weren't going to happen. Basically, during the strikes, a lot of projects were put on the back burner, and it really didn't look like Battlestar Galactica was going to really get going again. It still looks like the movie's stuck in development hell, and I'm still, again, being told by sources reasonably close to the area that it may not happen. But plans for the TV series have been reignited, and the Peacock Network is planning to do a pilot. Now, this is the first thing that I'm going to talk about that has changed massively, and this was not the original plan. 2 years ago, when Sam Esmail first started talking about this, he was saying this was going to be a 10-episode run. It's direct to streaming. So we were not looking at getting a pilot at that point. So why are we now? Well, this comes down in part to the strikes and the delays to the TV series, but also there's just been a massive overspending in recent years on streaming services. Streaming services just straight out the door ordering 10 episodes of something without doing their normal practice of a pilot to basically see one episode, see how it works, see if they want to make any changes, and then ordering the rest of the series. Well, in this case, it looks like originally they were just going to go with what streaming services have been doing the last few years and just throwing money at the series. But now they've had a bit of a rethink, and it looks like they've decided to go with a pilot instead. Sam Esmail, the showrunner, has been talking about how they are nearly ready to go to pilot, and he says it'll probably be quite soon. Again, talking to my sources, I can tell you that by quite soon he means the new year. And really, currently, they're just looking at finalizing the script, and that they are hoping that basically by March, they'll be looking for a studio and actually doing all those practical things of getting ready to shoot. A lot of casting apparently is already in a preliminary stage, and they're really hoping to get going within 3 or 4 months. And what else do we know? Well, Sam Esmail was also talking about how the 2004 Ronald D. Moore version of Battlestar Galactica really did focus on society's post 9/11 anxieties. And Sam basically thinks that the Battlestar Galactica story can be used to reflect modern anxieties, particularly that of AI. Now, we've heard a lot about AI in the last few years. I saw an advert just a couple of days ago where apparently a Hoover uses AI technology to decide what type of floor you're hoovering. If that isn't the start of the end of the world, I don't know what is, because apparently my Hoover has AI and is going to turn itself against me. I'm going to get sucked to death. That sounds wrong, but I'm sticking with it. If you like what we're doing over here on SciTrek, then don't forget, obviously, to subscribe and hit the bell notification so you never miss any of our videos. But also, hit a thumbs up and drop a comment. It really helps with those pesky little YouTube algorithms. So AI is everywhere at the moment, and obviously during the actors and the writers strikes we heard an awful lot about it. I think we're going to be hearing even more and more over the next 10 years or so as this new technology that isn't even technically AI. It's not technically artificial intelligence, but it's getting close. We're going to be hearing more and more about this technology in the next decade as it's perfected. So why is Sam Esmail talking about this now? Again, through my sources, I've been able to actually find out exclusively and first that actually they had a script for 10 episodes. And that script during the strikes was completely thrown out. Sam Esmail was asked by the studios to completely start again. And he's done so. They've pretty much got a pilot script ready, and that's ready to go. But the rest of the season is now really up for debate. They have completely restarted and reimagined the series. And that actually leads into my next point, where initially Sam Esmail was talking about that this show would actually exist within the universe of the original Battlestar Galactica. Now, he was always a little bit vague on what that meant, because it's not necessarily going to be a continuation. It was going to be within universe, though. I told you in a video just 6 or 7 weeks ago, actually, that there was a rumor. This was going back about 18 months. And actually, this new series by Sam Esmail would be a little bit of a prequel, that it was going to be based and start around the launch of the Battlestar Galactica, and that it was going to tell the story of the Galactica. How did this vessel become so well loved and well respected within the 12 colonies? Why was she being turned into a museum at the point of being decommissioned? How had she earned such an incredible reputation? That's what this series was going to be based around. Now, I don't know if that's still the point, but Sam Esmail's language about what this show will be has changed slightly. Instead of saying that it's going to exist within the universe Ronald D. Moore set, he's now saying they're trying not to step on the toes too much of Ronald D. Moore's version. So, no longer within universe, perhaps. It has been nearly 20 years since Ronald D. Moore's Battlestar Galactica series. I actually can't believe that. It's been 20 fracking years. I am so old. So they obviously feel that maybe rebooting or reimagining sections, at least, of that storyline might now be okay. And if the movie isn't going ahead, they don't have to worry about stepping on the toes of that either. So it does look like that they have had a pause, had a rethink, and actually started again. Now, the last point here is that Sam Esmail was always supposed to be show running this project. He's now saying that he's actually not going to necessarily be doing that. He's still going to be an executive producer. He's still going to be in and around the project, and he's still going to be acting as maybe the boss, as the final word. But he's now saying they're going to be getting the top talent in to support this TV show. He says, I don't do hardcore sci-fi. This is not really my area. So we're going to get the right people in to do this justice. Now, again, sources that I speak to have said there's a couple of possibilities for that. And I'm going to very quickly say they don't know for certain. But they've basically said, look, there's a couple of possibilities. Either the executives over at the Peacock Network have said, look, Sam, is this really your bag? Can you do this? Or do we need to get people in to support you? Or more likely, that because the show has been put on hold for so long because of the strikes, etc., Sam Esmail has other projects he's contracted to do and simply won't have time to do them both. So they're going to have to bring in other people to support him. And he will basically just act as an overall manager to the project. So he's not leaving it completely, but he's going to be allowing others to take a lot of the weight. I suspect that is probably more likely. I think a lot of this decision has probably come from Sam himself as well, basically saying, look, I can do this, this, and this. I want this show to still be my baby, but I do need somebody in here that understands the genre a little bit better than me. So, guys, get into the comments and tell me what you think. Is this project something you're looking forward to? And actually, if it is a reboot, basically, a hard reboot even maybe, that ignores the Ronald D. Moore version, would that be a good thing or a bad thing? It is really starting to feel a little bit like Batman with Battlestar Galactica. We don't really need to be told the origin story again, do we? Or, actually, has it been so long now since Ronald D. Moore's version, and a version that, let's be honest, started magnificently? The miniseries is sci-fi perfection as far as I'm concerned, but as the series developed, it wandered a little bit. And I have to admit, I stopped watching it. I came back to it years later, but first time round, I got bored of it. I'd love to know actually what you thought of the Battlestar Galactica series, particularly as the series went on. And, the failed prequel series. Does Battlestar Galactica actually deserve a second chance? And maybe Ronald D. Moore's 2004 version was a little bit of a missed opportunity. Get into the comments and tell me exactly what you think. If you are new to the channel, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. It really helps us out and you'll never miss any of our new videos. Also, you can go to patreon.com/SciTrek, where most of our videos premiere first. You can also go to scitrek.co.uk, which is our dedicated website, and we try to do articles based on most of our videos, and we try to add a little bit more information for you to digest. Go over and check it out. As always, please stay safe, and I'll see you next time.